Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of our virtual wine road trip. Today we are at Château Smith au Lafitte in the Grave appellation. I am with the owner, Madame Florence Catiard. So, Madame Catiard, I will let you introduce yourself and present the property.
Hello, I am Florence Catiard, and with my husband we have the great privilege of living on the premises of beautiful Château Smith au Lafitte for the last 30 years. It will be our 30th harvest this year, and it will begin soon because the vine is going fast with the beautiful weather we have got now, and it's a bit exceptional here because we are surrounded by our vineyard. And I live over there in my Château, the other side of the vineyard, and I work here in this chateau, which is one of the most ancient of the whole Bordeaux appellation.
Exactly. So, Madame Catiard, we would like to know what was you doing before?
Oh, I am not young and I had a very long life. But when I was young, I met my future husband in the National French City.
Yes.
And we skied together, we studied together because we were the only students, and at the time no ski school studies. And we began friends and then boyfriend, and then I married very young, and we have changed life 3 times because we did not inherit this chateau. We had to work very hard and launch successful business
Yes.
to buy this, and now it's my longer span of life, but I enjoy every minute of it.
Yes, and that's very beautiful, guys. So, can you present every part of the property? Because actually, this is not only a chateau. You can have a wonderful view on the hotel, and Madame Katia will introduce this.
Yes, it's our small world with Les Sources de Caudalie, which is now Palace des Vignes, Palace of the Vineyard, with a 3 restaurant, 1 2-star Michelin, a great chef, Nicolas, and also not a 2 swimming pool and a natural swirling pool with hot water, which we have digged at I think 500 meters, and that's the spa, and it's a beautiful place. This is not the best part. You have to cross the entrance tower to see how really beautiful it is, with all the houses which are kind of suites, and but that's the kingdom of my daughter and son-in-law. I only look after my vineyard, which is my soul and spirit, my everyday passion. And this is the 14th century tower of the chateau. It dates back to the Crusades day of Verrier du Bosc, who was the first known owner of Smith au Lafitte. And the English in the 14th century, the English owners put a higher tower, and it's a little unbalanced, but we kept it this way because it's historical.
And it's beautiful, actually.
Yes, and what we like is that we are very near of Bordeaux, 20 minutes
yes,
from the city, and we managed to keep 65 hectares of wood and forest, in which we have some meadows where we cultivate the organic and medicinal plants for our phytotherapy of our vineyard. And we are also, now we are certified organic.
Yes.
Since 2019, the launching of our future wine that took place 2 days ago with a big success. We are so happy now and relaxed. And we also are biodynamic, not with the mystic part, but we tried everything. For instance, this year we have many testing in the vineyard. We are in April, when it was between 2 rains, we put solar lasers on the vineyard. And to add some strength to the vines, and it worked. We also put we also put straw in other parts of the vineyard. Did not work so well because it was raining, and it was to prevent the mildew of getting back to our vines, because as we know, we don't work with herbicides, pesticides, not anymore, for a long time.
Yes.
But it's very difficult. And the straw was too humid, so it did not work so well. But we try everything, and I can tell you that I know my plants now. They are the same with which I cure myself, like valerian, like horsetail, of course, kettle and fern, because they grow naturally everywhere, but also absinthe. And each plant has a special virtue for our vineyard. It's in what you see, you don't see in fact, because it's what we call a stealth cellar, because it's a positive energy and it's in the forest.
Okay.
And we love to go there because we have a vegetal roof, 300 square meter of solar panel.
Wow,
And
300.
we were invited to COP21 by the ministers and heads of state to
Yes.
speak about this experience, because we recycle the CO2 emitted during the fermentation in bicarbonate, so we call it bicarbonate.
Yes, it's baking soda.
Yes, baking soda, thank you. In English.
No problem.
And here it's my bad taste, because I thought it would be very nice on this flat roof to put SHL, like Smith or Lafitte. But many people ask me whether it's a dropping zone, so forget this.
And now we can see your property.
Yes, that's my house, where I have been living very happily for the last 30 years. And here, as you can see, we have taken away, and I was very sad of this, but the vines here, they were more than 80 years old. So they were totally
yes.
out of
It was
strength.
too old.
Too old, yes. So we changed this. And it's nice to be a one block estate, dating back to for 655 years this year. Our chateau was here. And even if my daughter with the hotel and the Caudalie product, you know, but now my two daughters and two added values, the son-in-law, they make better business than we do. But
Yes.
The proud and sometimes maybe a little jealous mother says that in 6 centuries my chateau will still be here. Where will live a little tree? Who knows? I am very proud of my girl.
Yes, but you should be,
Yeah.
I think. So actually we can see you have a very strong green approach.
Yes.
You are doing a lot of things for the organic, so that's very beautiful. But actually, when you bought this property, what was your project?
Oh, our project was to be organic, because
Okay.
we have been, my father wanted to call me Nature, you know, which is not a very feminine first name. And my daughter Mathilde was first to suppress paraben in a Caudalie cream. I have never wear a fur coat. I was freezing in winter in my mountain, you know, in the Alps. So we were like this, but when we came, it was a disaster, because you don't came organic like this, you know.
Yes.
You have really to work very hard. And in the beginning, we suppressed all the fertilizer, the chemicals, and the poor vines. They were almost dying. It took us 5 years, almost 6, to have a real start with organic. And after we need 20 years to really become
Exactly.
what we aim to be. But according to the difficult climate we have in Bordeaux, difficult but also very special, because it gives our wine finesse, elegance, and we make very low yield, so we can keep the intensity and the density of the wine. But we'll have a tasting in a short while.
Yes. So actually, we would like to know how. So where is your passion from for the wine?
Oh, Maybe it comes from the skiing days, because the only alcohol we were allowed to drink in the French ski team was red Bordeaux.
Okay.
And as I am not very big, even when I had more muscles, you know, I I was obliged to make the downhill races, because now they are specialized, the young girls, but at the time you had to race the three disciplines, and we were so afraid that we could not sleep the previous night of the race. And Jean-Claude Killy, the famous French skier, you know, he had this idea of telling us to drink a glass of red Bordeaux, and all the girls, they slept like stones. And so when we got married, we said we don't want a bourgeois wedding list, we
Yes.
want good bottles of red Bordeaux.
Yes,
And,
that's a nice gift.
and I remember with my husband, we did not know anything, but I said, give me more, the one with the stone arc, you know, Leoville Lascaz.
Yes.
This one. We did not know anything, but when we went after 20 years of very hard work,
Yes.
and we built a small fortune before putting everything under our feet, we decided to go to red Bordeaux. And in fact, now our white vines, they are maybe at least as famous as our red.
Yeah, exactly.
We have only 10 hectares with a paradoxical exposure, because it's north on a precocious soil, so it gives very slow ripening and very old vines of Sauvignon Blanc. So it's great.
Yes, but we're going to test it
But
after.
we came here for the red Bordeaux, and we found this very special estate, like a meadow of vines surrounded by forest, and we kept 65 hectares of forest. We could plant more,
But you decided to keep the forest
that's
also.
our real green luxury.
Exactly, I think that's green luxury. And the signature of here, because actually everything you're doing, you include the vine and the organic part, the green
Yes.
parts.
Yes.
So that's very important for you in
course.
whatever you're doing.
Of course.
And actually, I think we didn't present this place.
Oh yes, this place is the cooperage, but my husband wanted to add a tower. That's why we are on
Yes.
the tower. But he made this in the deep respect of the tower at the time, which were in the Bastide de Gascogne. But still, I call it Daniel Tower, because when you dig here, you found remnants of past centuries, and we found very old stones. And it goes down toward the actual tonnellerie where we are going now, the cooperage. And Daniel said, no, it was not a staircase, it was a tower. Okay, but he made this with Compagnon du Devoir, the real people who knows how to build solid stones, you know.
Yes.
And of course we had all the beams, and even you can, if you want to have a lucky charm, you can ring the bell.
Yes, so can we see the bell? So guys, I don't know if you will see the bell, but actually there is a beautiful bell.
Yes, it's all ornated, but I don't think the beams are so numerous you can see this very well.
Yes. So as Madame Katia said, so here we are in the prestigious place, because actually if you come here and you want to do a visit, this is part of the I think the upper offering activities. So I hope you will come here to have this beautiful visit, this beautiful tour, because here you have an overview which is very wonderful. So now we are going to the cooperage place.
Yes.
So as you mentioned, you decided to have your own place to do your coopers.
Exactly, and what we wanted is to master the toasting, because
Yes.
we don't want the wood to overwhelm the fruit. That would be silly. And we go in Forêt de Trancé. Our enologist Fabien goes there every year, and he has learned, it's funny, but he has learned to shoot the woods. And he can tell you whether it's noble or a little more rustic. And with our cooper, Jean-Luc, it's a great team, and they do most of the barrel we need here.
So all the barrel you use for your wine are made here.
Not exactly all of them. I should say 90%.
Yes.
Because hello, Jean-Luc.
Hi, Jean-Luc.
Because we don't want Jean-Luc to get lazy.
Exactly.
So we compare blind these barrels to the other barrels of regular cooper.
Okay.
And before he used to win by far, because maybe we did not get the best woods or the best barrel. Now they know we have an expert here. So
Exactly.
like with your butcher, it's the same story.
Okay, so you are only producing for your wines.
Yes, and now a little bit for beautiful Pomerol, Château Beauregard, that we are very acquainted with.
Exactly. So can you present this fire, because we are seeing a fire there, and we don't know what is it.
And then I think Jean-Luc, you have just put the rose on it, or you almost finished now. Because usually it puts an open barrel like this one, you know, that is called the rose, on the fire, and then with this cable, he gives the round shape for the barrel.
Okay.
And you see the rose, they are here also, and they are waiting to go on the fire. And then he goes very fast. It seems he has got 3 arms, and he puts all the stainless circles.
Yes.
And in the end, like he's modest, he always signed the other way with his name. And here you can see it's Forêt de Troncé. Troncé is the forest of Colbert, the minister of Louis XIV, you know.
Okay.
And they were very big masts of oak without branches, because branches could give some sap, and that's no good because we take only the inside of the stave. And it's written that it's for red wine, and the toasting chauffe will be middle plus, so it's Cabernet which will go
Okay.
inside.
You know, this is Cabernet for
Yes,
Cabernet.
of course, because if you look at the stage, you know, you can see that it goes for the white from very light, and then it's middle, and then middle plus. Middle is more for Merlot, and then it's middle plus or strong, but now we don't go so much for strong. And
Okay.
if you look at this, it's a very difficult job that Jean-Luc is doing.
I can imagine.
Because not one of these staves has the same diameter.
They don't have the same size.
That's why he has to put them flat. Otherwise, it cannot make a barrel.
Okay.
And I think we were very pleased last year to have the honor of Entreprise du Patrimoine Vivant, which means living patrimony. I don't know how to translate it.
Yeah.
It means that we have a lot of good craftsmanship and artifacts here. And
Yes.
Triarder, we were very proud because it's given by the Minister of France.
That's a nice prize, I think.
Yes.
So, as you can see, guys, this is one of the. Yes, I think you.
Only 3 chateaux.
Yes, only 3 chateaux here in Bordeaux are doing this.
Lafitte and Margot.
And Margot, yes, and Margot.
In summer, Brion.
Yes, so this is a privilege
Yes.
to see this this wonderful craftsmanship here
Every day he makes 2 to 3 barrels per day.
per day.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's enough for us. And we you know, he's not obliged to do this because this you will not see many chateaux with this kind
Exactly.
of finition. But it's a memory of when the cellars were untidy and you had spiders, and to keep away the bad insects, the chestnut tree is perfect. So
Okay.
and that's the
This is a tip. I don't know.
and it's
But we understand, we can
the
see
real
it.
craftsmanship. Yes.
That's beautiful. And so, actually, do you think you will do this until years? And do you
course.
think that maybe change the taste of your wine because you're choosing the wood you want
Exactly.
to put inside? So
It's important.
It's
And,
important,
I hope
yes.
even when I am buried in my vineyard, I hope Jean-Luc or his son and grandson will be here.
Exactly. That's beautiful. So guys, we're gonna go outside now. Watch the step. Thank you, Jean-Luc.
Merci, Jean-Luc.
So we're gonna continue the visit and we're gonna go outside. And you will see that in this property we can see a lot of art, a lot of sculpture. So this is one of the first sculpture you're gonna see right now. So
This is by a famous,
What is it?
quite famous Brazilian artist, Ernesto Neto. And the name is Tree on its Way. And it's also organic. That's why I like it, especially because it looks like a hound, more or less. You know?
Exactly.
But it's also a tree. And it's funny because he's very happy. The artist, he came here, like all the artists that you see here. And he's very happy when he sees people sitting on his tree, bench, hound, you know, because he says it gives life. It gives life to my sculpture.
That's wonderful.
And I say, well, but some people are a little afraid that they can have rust on their dress. And he said, no, you have just, and now, because the first year it was a little rusty. And he said, oh, you just have to put paper under. And,
And you can see it.
yes.
And now I would like to know more about this sculpture because I think this story is very, very funny.
This is a kind of private joke, you know.
Exactly.
Because, I like very much the sculpture that Wang Du, who lives half in Beijing, half in Paris, was doing, for instance, to show that what impressed you intensely today will be in the dust basket tomorrow, and very often. And he does this for Les Echos, for instance, or for China Daily, you know,
Yes.
where you follow the stock exchange, you know. And then, as he loved great wine, I had an idea, and he shared it with me. So it's a unique sculpture, because I was displeased. I did not like the notation that Magic Bob Parker, you know, at the time, had put on my 2005. And I deserve much better. It was something like, I don't remember, but I think it was, you know, it's on 100, it was 94 or 94 and a half, I don't know,
Yes.
not like this. And then it was a sample, of course. But then 10 years later, Parker, and it was one of the very last testing, retest the 2005, and he put 98.5.
98.5.
So now I say it's a tribute.
So guys, you can see this tribute as
But it's very complex, you know, and if you look,
yes, we can see
you can see, well,
it's
the
written,
pigeon like
yes.
it, but you can see Smith or Lafitte here, you know. Yeah, Smith or Lafitte.
Exactly. So now guys, we're gonna have a special moment, I think. Do you know where we are going? We are going to the magic place. Maybe one of the best place of the property, because we are going to the private cellar.
But we'll keep it a little secret.
Yes.
You have to give credentials to be admitted.
Exactly. And there we can see also another sculpture.
Yes,
so
it's
here in this property we
it's,
can see art
it's
everywhere.
the goddess Athena, you know. She's the goddess of sagesse. Comment on dit la sagesse? Of the wisdom. Thank you. And she has already an oak in her hand, and over iconic thing is an olive. She has also the spiders that looks like them. It's like her. And she's by Voltaire.
Yes, that's a beautiful
I
sculpture.
like her too.
So now we are entering to maybe a private room. Wow.
It's like so, and it's a beautiful one. It has the seductive side of the 2050, which is also a great wine, and the intensity towards the terroir of the 2016. It's between 15 and 16.
Okay.
And maybe the best of both. I don't know. We'll have to wait to know.
Exactly.
But of course, I love my 2000. I love my 2005. We spoke about it.
Yes, we spoke
So
about it.
I am really. And it was a great grandfather of my husband, last on the right. And
Wow.
it's good not to get big-headed when you are owner of a prestigious chateau, to say, well, we were grocers 3 generations ago. But
Exactly.
I try to have a homely atmosphere, and that's
Yes.
important for us because we live on the premises, and we love this estate so much.
And with this fireplace, we feel maybe at the mountain. So I don't know if you wanted to remake this atmosphere of when you was scared, maybe.
Maybe that's not conscious, but you are right. And as we like book also, you can take a book once
Yes,
you
and have a
taste
seat,
wine
take a
and
book, have a
seat,
glass of wine.
have a glass
That's
of wine.
wonderful, I think.
It's not bad. Yeah.
Yes, that's
It's a
very wonderful.
wonderful atmosphere, and we like to share our passion because we think wine is a product of civilization. And I saw with my girls, as soon as we began to turn a crystal glass with a stem, it was finished with a funny alcohol, white, you know, and the ones which are 40 degrees. And I think France is not paying tribute to the civilization that the great winemaker bring to our country.
Yes, that's wonderful. And guys, you're not here with me, but this place is peaceful. It's incredible, and everywhere here is very peaceful. You feel relaxed.
I think it's because we managed to keep 3 sides with woods. We could have planted more, we could have built more or sell to promoters, real estate guys, but we are so pleased to be in such an environment that it's our privilege, yes. And to bike in my...
Yeah, this is your bike.
Of course, I am consistent. I am organic. My car is electric, but I never use it. I am always on my bike.
So now we are going to the tasting room. So the name of the tasting room is Le Galion.
That's true. Why? Because Galion means the old big sailing ship, and it was the boat. I say it was a boat. I am not sure. It's 18th century, and in 18 it's a model of 18th century, you know. And in 18th century, George Smith came here, and he built the Chartreuse, where I am lucky enough to dwell now. And he came with his 3-mast sailing boat with cannons and barrels inside.
Okay.
Why? Because he was having his mistress here. He built the Chartreuse for her. Must have been very talented, beautiful, both, I don't know. And he had his wife in Perth, and he was also a wine merchant in Bristol.
Okay.
George Smith. And he put himself on the label. So this stands for the fact that he was the 3rd son, and James Smith had 3 sons. And then he has the moon crescent because his big boat was in the harbor of the moon in Bordeaux. And that's where, you know, they were putting the barrels inside on the wharfs of Bordeaux. And he was not ashamed to put himself above the 3 lily flowers which come from the first owner, Verrier du Bosc, who was apparented to Duke of Valois, and maybe made the last crusade, who knows.
Yes.
He did just like it's us, the Cathiard put a pair of ski poles, and Cathiard au Lafitte. Au Lafitte meaning high heel. That's why it stands for quality somewhere, because it's not flat at all. I can tell you, I am biking all the time, and it's easy to go back to my house, not so easy to go up, and if I go to the white, it's a real slope. Fortunately, we have been working with horses on the white for the last 25 years now, and because it's fragile and it could meet erosion, and so it's better to do this way. But do you want to begin with the red or with the white?
So,
up to you.
I'm gonna begin with the white because so many people talk about your white.
Okay, you will see. It's a 16 and 2016, and I like this white very much because it has, as I say, for the red, it's almost the same thing for the white. You'll
Thank
tell
you.
me. You have you know the rule of tasting. First nose.
So maybe you can.
Yeah. You know, first nose.
Okay.
It's already,
first nose.
already the wine is telling you stories about
Yes.
agrumes, maybe grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
Then
exactly.
you have to aerate it, oxygenate, and
Okay.
don't hesitate to go. Yes,
I
go strong.
go.
Now you,
I'm doing well.
yes, you're doing very well. Now you push your nose inside, and then it's whoa. It's like an
Wow.
orchestra,
Yes.
orchestra compared to a solo. And now, after the grapefruit, my husband would say peaches,
Peaches. I
Yeah.
would say that too.
but I smell also white flowers, and already a little mineral hints in the end. And then you taste, you know, the Bordeaux way. You take some air, you chew the wine, and when you swallow, you breathe through your nose.
Wow.
And now, retro-olfaction, which is long, long, long. You know, it's the Caudalie. The Caudalie are subjective seconds. It's what we, it's everything the wine is telling you after you swallowed it. It's a kind of machine through time, you know. and this wine is still speaking a lot to my mouth, my palate.
Exactly. Even now?
And yes, and that's the difference between a good wine and a great wine. A good wine will have nice nose, sometimes even a flash of very good spirits, but after it can fail fast.
Okay.
And it can fail on a wall of oak or fail by itself because it's a small wine. Whereas the great wine, now it's slightly fading away, but I have been speaking almost 1 minute.
Yes. And I would like to know if you always did white and red wine.
Yes, because it was like this when we came, and we have not touched the 10 hectares of white. They were already on the same slope, pronounced,
Okay.
but we changed everything because they had huge tanks, and my husband wanted small tanks and wood tanks, which are very difficult to clean. Next time you will see the small oak vats and the other place, the huge underneath cellar. But we have to keep some secrets.
Secrets, yes, because guys, you come.
Yeah.
So if you come, you will see all those places.
Yes,
That's why we keep it because there is all the secrets.
Yes, and in the forest, you have 50 hectares of jogging in the wood, but that's maybe more common. But we have also a Landart path.
Yes.
And it's the forest of the five senses. You can visit, and every 100 meters you have a work of art. It's beautiful. And of course you awake your senses.
I think, yes.
Because you listen to the rivers, you smell the smells of Caudalie, my daughter, my white wine, my red wine, with all the flowers, the fruit, and also the forgotten smells. And no, it's interesting, really.
Very.
And of course, you end with the five sense, the tasting, of course.
So now we're going to
you go to the red.
To the red.
And the 2012 is a wine that I like especially. I could speak hours on my wine, but I don't know, maybe.
No, we're gonna go to the red.
You go to red. Okay, you tell me. And the red, the 2012, it was a little like the 1989, which it's a wine which was easy since the beginning. And that's sometimes some austere people will say, oh, it will not age well, which isn't true, because it's not because it's already excellent, but it will not improve later, you know. And I think now, after 8 years, it has reached its peak, but it will stay like this for more than 20 years. Oh yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
actually, because before we go to the red, I would like to know how long we can keep your white.
Depends. Because, for instance, I tested yesterday 1995,
Yes.
which is, I can calculate like this, but it's very old for a white.
Yes, for a white is
For a
very
white it's
very old.
And it was excellent. But it was not with a fish, it was with a chicken,
Okay.
with some cream. And the 1995 has taken this creamy aftertaste, beautiful. But if you take some people prefer my white when they are like target, you know, very focused, very intensive, energetic, lot of purity too. And this like 2013, which was among by Wine Spectator among the 10 best wines of the world. You know, the American like this kind of classification. We have been twice on the big upper floor, once with my red and once with my white. So I call them, in France we have a saying which is never a two without a third. You know?
Exactly.
We'll come back. I hope not with a rosé.
No.
But we and they choose a wine which was like an arrow.
Okay.
And I don't know, it will age well, but for me, I like when I can confuse my burgundy friend with a white which has body, which has flesh. And before they used to say, oh, Daniel Florence, give me your red, give me your red. And now we say, I can retest the white. You know, we know we are part of a great now.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it takes a Montrachet to quiet me with my white. I can tell you. Yes. But
Okay.
if we go back to the red, and it's also very, very pleasant because a lot of aromas, not a blockbuster type of wines with a lot of muscles, you know, but elegant and powerful at the same time.
Yes.
I love this wine.
I really love
Unfortunately, they sold so well that now you have to find an English wine merchant to find some of them.
Oh!
We are very few at the Château.
So successful, so...
It's only my private cellar and little left in the boutique.
Yes.
But and when I am inviting pro, I never pro this one because I have no more for sale.
But that's a good news, actually.
Yes and no, because I love this one. So thank you for allowing me to choose my wine to test it. We are not commercial now because
Yes.
we can test the
We
wine,
can test it.
which has still a very long span of life, but which is soft, excellent, and how can I say? You have already in the end. You really usually, but not in this tasting room. I have my little secret plate full of flintstones because we have many flintstones in the estate.
Yes.
And even if they don't rub shoulders together at night, they are so near that they give this smoky aftertaste and the mineral, which does not come from the barrel because you saw how very delicate we are with toasting.
Exactly.
It comes from it's the Gunsian gravel, and that's the Rolls Royce of the terroir. And you have it in Pessac, the Aubryon family, and then one or two vineyards, and it comes in my vineyards as well, except for the white, which are on their slope, you know. So it's special. We are so proud. We are, of course, we will not be here for eternity, but it's some way, it's the ultimate pride to feel that this chateau and that we have brought our touch, and we hope it's a good one.
So actually, what do you think? What would be maybe your signature in whatever you are doing here?
You want a word? You want a sentence? You want a...
So as you prefer. The most complete one.
we try to express the best of our great terroir every day. And we think we have a motto of Jean-Claude Killy on a black stone, you know, which says, if you try to do your best every day and to try to improve little by little, at the end you could well be the best one, you know, and that's what we do every day.
You push every day.
Every detail, because
nice.
I have learned patience. I am impatient lady, but here with wine you learn that time is always winning, and that you cannot be in a hurry all the time, even if sometimes I am anxious when it's raining, for instance, or when we had some attack of possible attack of hell, and then we don't sleep, we are up, and then we launch the big balloon, but of course with organic material. It's just salt to make the cloud in water and not in hell. Either two it works, but I touch wood, I cross finger, because you can have this till the last day of harvest, you know. For instance, in 1995, the Great White, you know, we lost the last parcel of Cabernet Sauvignon because my husband wet a little too much to pick, because when you are the owner, when you live on the premises, you always take more risk. That's why I prefer the wine by owners, you know, living there.
Yes.
Of course, you
have
not a boss outside or in another state to call you and say, well,
and we can feel that you're always involved in everything in the chateau. So
and you try maybe harder. So, but sometimes you miss, and it's a beautiful wine, but not the best expression of our terroir, because it's 50 Cab and 50 Merlot, and usually we are 65 Cab and then 30 Merlot, and then the 5 are shared between Cabernet Franc and Petit Verdot. But we have so many tricks and secrets when doing wine, you know. We work only with wool berries, and we by gravity, 100% gravity, and then we go very softly. We let Mother Nature make the fermentation, so you have to bite your fingers, you know, and look after each vat and sometimes each barrel, because sometimes we do in the barrel, like an infant.
So that's a huge challenge, and every day.
Huge work, and talent you must have, but work is essential. Yes.
Exactly.
But in the end, you have some great bottle which will be there long after we left this earth. It's my illusion of eternity, maybe. I don't know. But, surely a kind of ultimate pride.
Exactly. So you and Sir Katia are the owner, and we would like to know what is your job. So what are you doing? What he is doing?
If you ask him, he will tell you that I poke my nose everywhere. and that's true, because he is more on the technical side.
Okay.
With Fabien, his spiritual son, who is our technical manager, and who is agronomical engineer, also of course enologist, and who knows, because he has been 25 years with us now. So he grew up with the vines and the chateau, and that's Fabien and Daniel. And then I have Ludovic, who is my right arm, and we do everything else. And it's funny because when we test, always blind, of course, the samples before blending, and then the different blends, you have always 2 and 2. And it's blind, but we always ask for more, for more first wine. And we say, no, it will go in the second wines. And I don't like this name of second wine, because it was younger vines, but they are so good. And now the younger vines, they are 30 years old, so it's not so young. But it's what we call prise de tête, you know. Wow. And we say, no, this small vat, will go there because it's not enough complicated. complicated and complexity, and we say, good wine, first wine, wow. But well, we always lose. Because my husband has the last word, and maybe for the best, because it tells us, well, you sold your futures in half day. So don't tell us that we are too demanding in making the great wines. And we tell them, yes, but we could have so much more. So it's always the same old quarrel.
Okay, so to finish, we have two other questions. So the first one is, if you could invite a celebrity, but I will say a skier here.
Oh, it would be Jean-Claude Killy, our old friend. You know, he has 3 gold medals, but now he lives in Geneva. He's becoming a little austere. Before he was coming to visit us every year.
Every year, okay.
Yeah, and testing our wines. But now I know he still tastes wine, but he's very straight and I can say to hold your life, and he's in this but he is like my husband, because he was in bees, you know, last year, and we have 10 bee hives here. He is very interested in Mother Nature, but I like him because he was such a great skier. I would have given 10 years of my life to ski like him.
Wow.
And I was only a second row.
Yes.
And nobody broke her leg for the Olympics or for other champions. So I had my titles, but not the biggest ones, you know.
Yes.
And but we have many friends. I love to. We are friends with a philosopher, because my parents were professors, both of them.
Okay.
And I liked a lot. I like to read. We read everything about wines.
Everything.
But also about. But for instance, Michel Serres was a friend, and I love when he says, because I think of him now. He disappeared, unfortunately. But when I am biking in my estate, when he says, I try to translate because it's much more beautiful in French. But don't go through the vineyard like a man distrait, comment on dit?
Like perturbating.
Like a man who would not be focused.
Yes.
Would cross the sea. He should see only green, where the other would see only blue. You know, and I think it's very important to know how to learn a vineyard. It took me maybe 10 years. Now, when I am in a vineyard, I know.
You know.
And the most important job is made in the vineyard, because now you have many people who are able to make great wine in the cellar, but in the vineyard, it's every day. When it rains, when it snows,
Exactly.
That's not often in Bordeaux. When it's hell, when you have to be there. And we live here, so that's our first and foremost advantage.
Exactly. And the other question is, we would like to know 3 words that for you represent Château Smith au Lafitte. Only 3.
My wine is the soul of the earth.
That's perfect.
I don't know. Of this earth. Yeah.
Of this earth, yes.
Yes.
So guys, I hope you had a very great moment with us. Actually, it was a pleasure to be here with Madame Katia, and maybe a privilege, because as you know, she's the owner of the property, and I think she's so many things to tell about this property. We have so much to learn about all your experience and your passion for this property. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Thank you.